Hi, hello, and did you know there is a tutorial for this heart animation in basic geometry nodes? It's very basic, it's very beginner friendly, and that's what we're gonna cover today. And here you can see all the buttons that I press. It's a bit too fast in the first 3 seconds. In case you never used Blender, just follow along for the first couple of moments, then you can understand what we're doing. You press 3 to select the face, you press E to extrude, you press G to grab and move, you press R to rotate. And that's basically all you need to know for this animation right now. And then you have a heart, and now we're going to bevel it. You select edges. There's a smarter way where you do it with Alt and the edge loop, but it does not always work for me for whatever the reason. So I do it by hand. And you select every edge besides the internal one, so anything that's on the outside you select. And now Control B and mouse wheel to bevel. And it looks like a proper heart now. Now we're going to be adding the HDRI. In case you don't know what it is, it's background. That is a photograph, a 3D photograph. And you can download it from polyhaven.com or from any other baby website. I don't know any others. And you just open it in environment textures. To set up the camera, just choose any view that you like with your middle button. Sounds nasty. With your mouse and press Control Alt numpad 0 to make it the view of the camera. Or you can go to this menu, it's pressed with N to open, and in view you can choose camera to view and just choose whatever the view that you like. And now that we're done, we're going to be doing geometry nodes. Yay! Geometry nodes, what it is, as I like to call it, it's geometry. It's a tree of nodes that construct together a complex geometry. You have an input that you already have, it's the heart, and you have the output that will change due to the nodes that you add. And we're gonna add the first one. It's with Shift A or just by searching in the Add button. Press search for extrude mesh, and now we have the extruded mesh with all the faces extruded. Here on the right you can see what we're gonna be doing with it. So first we're gonna make it bump like a heart with a wave texture, and for it to be animated already you can just search for scene time. So it's the time of the scene of the animation, and it just goes automatically. This is a necessary action that I'm doing just to experiment. It's gonna beat a bit too fast, so we're gonna divide it or multiply it by under 1 value. And here I have not put it to multiply. Yeah, so multiply by 0.1 or less. You can just experiment with it. And basically the animation is done, the geometry is built. And we're gonna go to shading. Shading is basically adding materials, and it's a lot of room to experiment as well. You can change colors in the principal BSDF in the first thing that you have there, or you could add different things, like I'm adding noise texture. You can experiment a lot with it. It's a bit too bright, so we're looking for color ramp. And now you will see that it looks, when it beats, it looks like crystals more than it looks like something soft that I have in the very beginning of the tutorial. And the secret is to press Ctrl 2 here to subdivide it. And it looks like a soft mesh. And then there's free room to play around. I'm adding this color ramp to roughness, so it's also soft on those spots, like looks more glassy. And this is everything for camera output. I'm making it for Instagram, so it looks as in reels or stories. Make sure that your output is perceptually lossless in coloring and that it is not saved as PNG but as a video. Make sure to save it somewhere to know where you saved it for later. It basically is finished. What we're gonna do still is work on camera, on focus, and that's basically it. Or I'm gonna be also changing between a lot of HDRIs right now. This f-stop is what makes a thing out of focus, or the background a little bit out of focus. Make sure to, where it says object of focus, to choose your object, your heart. Sounds very spiritual. And we also gonna animate it. So if you've never done an animation, everything like the sign of a diamond to the right of a value is called keyframe, and you put keyframes to save the value in the animation, and then you change it with a different one and you save it again so it changes throughout the animation. Now in animation window with Shift D you can duplicate, as is with any object in Blender. With Shift D you duplicate, so it stays the same, the animation, and does not change, and the focus stays the same way. Then you add a different value by changing the value and pressing the keyframe button, and then you will have an animated camera. And this is basically it. Everything is done, and I thank you a lot for your patience, your attention, and your time, and hope it has brought you something. And I will see you hopefully as soon as I'll make another video. Cheers. Meow.